Honestly, this is just a very quick message about guarding your privacy and essentially your attention. Because a previous video of mine, I named it Guard Your Attention. And this thing that I'll be saying right now proves it so much more. Like how deep algorithms actually run. And the thing with algorithms on social medias is that they are based on so many different things that you don't even know about. Like, for example, I recently watched Snowfall for the first time ever. And I watched it on my computer and I pirate streamed it. And I was using a VPN and I was routing it on Brave. And for some reason, the only connection that has it to my phone or is by me being on the same internet. Like I used the same home connection, although I still routed it and everything. And my phone, maybe on occasion, could pick up the audio from the computer. But that's the only connection. Like on my phone, I still have Ask Not to Track and all of that. And I'm not one of those super cautious about my privacy and all of that. But I still care about it probably more than a lot of people. Yet somehow, I pulled up TikTok now for the first time in like 2-3 weeks maybe. Yeah, like 2 weeks maybe. And for some reason, I get all these snowfall edits or like motivational speeches with snowfall images. And until I saw snowfall, I had never seen anything on my For You page with Franklin or anyone in snowfall. And now all of a sudden, I get bombarded with snowfall things. Like, or not even bombarded, they just stick it in like very sleekly. And it's kind of crazy because, as I just said, the only connection to my TikTok and that I actually watch snowfall is my internet being on the same connection, although I used a VPN and I was on Brave, and that my phone had access like to audio. So let's say I watch it without headphones, then yeah, maybe my phone picked up the audio from snowfall when it was just laying down. And although it says that it doesn't track anything, like somehow it must, and that is it is kind of crazy. Like there's so much things algorithms know about you that you are not aware of. Like imagine, this is just a series, but imagine everything else that you talk about, that you search for. Like algorithms are so deeply ingrained into today's like age, and there are so many things like truly that you do not know. And the fun thing about all of this is that actually I don't even want to get into trouble by some governmental agency or anything like that, but yeah, they know a lot more than you think they do, and they can access your devices even if you think they can't, and even during times that you think they can't. But yeah, at the end of the day, consider this a conspiracy theory. But even if you're stranded on an island, even if your phone is dead, if it still exists, I believe, this is my conspiracy theory, I believe that they can still hear you and get information about you. Same goes with computers, even if it's dead or if it's not connected to the internet or anything like that. But yeah, it's a crazy time we live in. And honestly, although some people could fear the future due to how the world currently looks with everything in the world going on, like society overall, the mentality of people being unsure of their identities, their values, and how everything's just so twisted. How certain people pull strings, make certain things seem normal when in reality it isn't, and all of that. I'm low-key excited to see how the future looks. Or will look. Well,
Vadå, har du inte tänkt på någonting nu så du har gissat som en idiot?
it's just weird then. I don't know. And another one, man. So trust me when I say that this watch right here, as long as I am alive, I will find some way to make much more money than I don't know what. Because the thing with money is, once you get the hang of money and actually get into making a lot of money, like there will just be an abundance of it. And obviously on YouTube, if I ever come to that point, when I get to that point, I'd rather want to say, then obviously all of that will not be documented, because I will not get into those circles and most likely not really be allowed to go into details when it comes to this. But let me just tell you that this watch right here, I don't know what it is with it, but it is such a masterpiece. And like 3-4 mil for this watch. I don't know, I can see myself having it in the future, however crazy it might sound. And yeah, I just gotta find my way to actually get into like the corporate money, venture fund type money. And then obviously, yeah, I'm just telling you, and I don't know the exact formula, but the upper echelon of society operates on a completely different scale, and they operate on completely different rules for that matter than the normal person does, than I do right now. And I just gotta get my foot into that. And I will. Alright, so I've been sitting with this shit for a while now, and I am not sure how much I can actually show in order to not reveal code that I do not want to show. But yeah, doing a lot of different shit, as you can see. And yeah, Jesus man, this is what goes on behind the scenes. I don't really know how to code, but I've done a bit of this earlier as well, so I know a little bit of CSS. But that's about it. And I just used ChatGPT for the rest of it. And it has worked surprisingly well actually. And it's currently 4:35 a.m. But yeah man, thought I'd throw this in here. Yes, because yeah. I'm tired now. Alright bro. This is very weird to say the least, like extremely weird. So it is currently 16:14, so like 4 o'clock. I woke up a few hours ago and I finished this landing page that I was sitting with for like, I don't know, quite a few hours yesterday. Now I'm going into my YouTube and I see this thing right here, alright? Keep in mind, this feels very weird because this video I was about to not upload it because it's, I don't know, I was just not going to upload it simply put. I didn't see the point in doing it, but that's kind of the whole thing with this channel. Like I'm just uploading content. Someday I might delete absolutely everything, but for now I'm just gonna speak my thoughts, and the majority of the things that I say I will just upload and document it. And yeah, I guess that's kind of it. And then another thing, by the way, so it was a few days ago when I just felt like enough is enough. I need to actually take my life, like matters, into my own hands with life. So I decided to reach out to a few people in sales, just to try find a role, I suppose. And that is what I did as well. So I reached out, I had some respond, and then a funny thing clicked in my head. I know this guy who is Swedish, who I followed on Twitter before, so I thought who better than him to actually ask for advice. And then I see him post like that his team is searching for a role. So yeah, I hopped on a call with him like quite instantly almost after he responded. And yeah, we had a small chat and I sent in my application. And yeah, like getting these sales jobs, I don't know, since my focus has been quite split up, I haven't been 100% focused on that. But right now that should be my top priority. And I like, once you actually go out of your own way and like throw away your ego, so much can happen so quick, man. Yeah. But yeah, my main priority is get a disposable income, improve on the job that I'm working with, make more money in that, and then use the money I make from that job in crypto and investments and all of that. And then this whole YouTube thing, like my main goal with this is not even to make money out of it right now. It's just to get exposure, to get the right eyes on me. And then for once it's time to actually leverage my skill set and everything that I've done, then I have solid proof of everything I've done. Like tonight when I recorded that video about the website, for an example, that's a small thing, but many of those small things, they add up to big things. And especially if it's something big in of itself, like you have a lot of case studies about crypto and all of that. And fun fact, I actually have another channel, and even on this channel my first ever video was about crypto back in like 2022. I think I uploaded my first video. I had a mask on my face, but yeah, regardless, I think I'm gonna throw in some footage into Final Cut right now and just edit, because I've only been having these rants, but I haven't really made any vlog type thing. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. And then after that, return to work, or rather applying for. But yeah. Alright, so it is September 19 and the clock is currently 06 something. And yeah, I haven't slept, but like literally anything. I recorded the, won't be the previous video, but the one after, the one I talked about privacy or something, and then edited. And yeah, the plan for today looks something like I'm gonna go train right now, and after that I need to get a haircut. I just need to refresh myself because I've been in my cave for a bit too long now, and I can't neglect my personal like hygiene, because even though I'm not out as much right now and doing shit, like you will still see yourself, you will still be going out to get groceries, to hit the gym and all of that. And I don't know, just, and what more is there to say? Yeah, I think I'm gonna withdraw like 5k from crypto because money is running low, and I just borrowed money to buy fucking food from my mom. And like, this is another thing. Obviously, she says I don't need to borrow it, but I don't know. I've come to that age right now where I can't be relying on my parents. Like, I really cannot. Plus, I need, or I don't need, but I would like some other things that would just make the whole process of creating content and all of that easier. So yeah, and all of that I might not need right now, but just having the cash at disposal still could be good. And then another thing that I will hopefully not forget to talk about when I get back home in a few hours is how to actually start doing what you know you should be doing. And like the TLDR of it is honestly just, and by the way, this is not medical advice or anything like that, but one thing I've noticed for myself is that when I'm awake for like 24 to 48 hours, after like the 30-ish hour point and beyond, especially like 35-ish plus hours, my rational thinking just completely gets removed, and I'm not necessarily tired either. So essentially what that means is whatever it is that I'm normally afraid to do or pursue, whatever it is, like reaching out for a role, creating YouTube videos, whatever it is, like literally whatever, it is so much less scary to do that. And another thing is like you're much more honest to yourself. So a few times what I've personally done is just like sit with myself and note down everything that I know I need to be doing but still haven't done, that I've delayed, that I've just procrastinated away. And yeah, why I write it down at during this time period is once you get those like 16 hours of sleep, like you will not remember what you previously felt. Like it's almost like you've entered an altered state of mind, which is the intention of it, at least for me. Not healthy, not ideal. Like another thing that I've gotten is, I don't know if it's severe dualization, but I would say that it is not mild, to say the least. And that gets significantly worsened by continuing to do this with my sleep. But at the end of the day, like I'm in a weird spot right now because if I don't quote unquote work and do something with my life that I need to be doing or know that I should be doing, like I just cannot sleep, like this video and then a few other topics that I have in mind. I need to at least write it down, write my thoughts down, and then I can continue like making a video out of that topic. But before I'm putting that down, like I would not be able to sleep. And it is certain people who will not understand that. And I don't expect everyone to understand it. But it's just that my brain and who I am is in a very different position than I'd want to be, and that I feel like I deserve, quote unquote. So, especially now, I use, most of my power to align myself with my mental state, if that makes sense. And a perfect example of this, which is a bit funny, is yesterday when I was at the bus to buy socks and t-shirts. And by the way, I bought fucking socks for $74. And I can barely even buy food. Like, look at this logic. But regardless, when I was at this bus, I don't know, I literally just thought to myself, like, I should be in a Rolls Royce right now. I should not be on this bus. And then I saw people just walk into their jobs in like business casual outfits, some in a bit more formal, and then some normal people, like all types of people. And then I realized that, I didn't realize it, I've understood that for a long time. But I just got reminded, rather, that 9 to 5 route and just getting complacent and leading yourself down that way. Yeah, no, I don't know, I'd rather be homeless and out in the Amazonas, honestly, than not having it all. And it might seem super weird because right now I don't have it all, but I'm working towards it. But the day that I'm unable to work towards everything that I've ever wanted and everything that I ever want, then I'd rather be homeless. And yeah, I'm not homeless, but I'd rather, like, quote unquote, leave the matrix completely. And that's another thing, like escaping the matrix by getting money and all of this. This is not what you're doing, by the way. Like, that is, at least to my understanding, quite literally what the matrix is: slaving for money to get wealth, status, and all of that, which is exactly what I'm doing, but I'm aware of it. But if I don't reach the, like, top, what's it called? Yeah, peak echelon, top something, top skiktet helt enkelt, then I'd rather leave the matrix and just go out to the Amazonas. But now I've been speaking in one go for 9 minutes, so I think it's about time that I quit this or end this video quit the recording, stop the recording, stop is the right word, and hit the gym, and then continue the topic that I was about to talk about, which is to remind myself how to actually get stuff done and how to start doing the things that you know you should be doing. So yeah, back to that once I'm done with the gym, hopefully. Alright, I am dead, and you might even hear that on my voice. There's no bass, there's no energy, there is no nothing, man. But that is fine, actually, in this case. So, back to where we actually were. And that is the thing about, I suppose, depriving yourself of sleep and then setting up plans and goals. And the thing with depriving of yourself of sleep, it is very possible to do this without the sleep. I've just found it to be, I wouldn't say easier, but it's just that when I'm quote unquote sober in my normal state of mind, when I'm not deprived of sleep, then I tend to overthink more. But when I don't have like enough sleep, or when my body needs that sleep, well, then I can just, or no, not that I can just, like, the thoughts, they literally just come to me, and all I gotta do is write them down and then essentially remember them or act on them. And that is probably the most obvious thing, but also what most people will be failing on and fail on currently, and that is the act of action, of executing on their plans, on following through on the things they've written down. And even I don't do it to the dot, but there are certain things that I do when I'm sleep deprived that just, I don't know, I wouldn't be able to do them when I'm in a normal state, or I probably could, but I'm just not there yet as a person. I'm sure I will get there in the future, within the soon future, hopefully, but I'm just not there right now. So yeah, and obviously you could do this without, as I said, depriving yourself of sleep and all of that, but it just makes it a bit easier. But yeah, more importantly, why this actually works is because everything that you want to do comes down to like your thoughts, thinking and feeling. But when you don't have that sleep, it just comes to you automatically. You don't really have the energy to distract yourself with other things because you don't really pay attention. So you might as well do nothing. And when you do nothing but you're awake, like everything that you've just sort of like put away, it just comes back to you. And that is something that I discussed about in a previous video of mine, where I actually wore a mask, like embrace your inner voice or something, or embrace the silence. And the reason for that is exactly what I've just mentioned, like due to the simple fact that when you don't distract yourself with your phone, with technology, with one thing or the other, like all of your true desires and thoughts, they will come up to the surface, and there will be so many things that you just either have forgotten about or that you just try to run away from. but when you work on them and solve them like one step at a time, like that's essentially how you find your purpose, I suppose. Because if there's so many unsolved things, it's hard for you to, or I wouldn't say purpose, but this thing isn't really like correlated to finding your purpose. It's more about achieving and setting goals for yourself. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure what my purpose is. My purpose isn't to get filthy rich, but that's one of my goals. My purpose is probably something completely different, or I know it is. But yeah, it feels like now if I'd continue talking, I wouldn't really say anything of weight. So I'm just gonna end the video right here. Plus I can hear my neighbors listening to me, and that feels a bit weird. So yeah, I'm gonna hold it there. But I hope you found some value in this. Thank you for watching.